Cover 2 is a zone coverage with 2 deep safeties protecting the deep halves of the field. The rest of the defense is responsible for 5 underneath zones. Cover 2 takes away deep routes down the sideline, but can be vulnerable down the middle of the field and in the run game. Cover 2 relies on athletic underneath defenders that understand their assignments and vulnerabilities of the coverage. Zones are not static, and receivers must be carried and passed off to the deep defenders. Without rerouting and carrying routes underneath, the safeties have too much field to cover and can be attacked downfield. In a pure cover 2, the defense all has their eyes on the quarterback and can jump routes and make plays on the ball, unlike in man coverage. That prevents the offense from hitting quick passes underneath while still giving the defense deep help to stop the vertical pass. There are 2 main variations of cover 2. Number 1 is Tampa 2, which uses the Mike linebacker to operate as a third safety in the middle of the field. The only 2 positions whose assignments change are the safeties and that middle linebacker. The safeties are still responsible for their deep halves of the field, but they now are free to widen a little bit more quickly to vertical outside routes since they have help in the middle. And now the middle linebacker is dropping to the deep middle and runs with any inside vertical route while turning his hips to the passing strength. The second variation is cover 2 man, or 2-man. It's run basically like cover 1, but with 2 deep safeties protecting the deep halves. Everyone else is in man coverage underneath. The Chiefs are playing both their corners with slight outside or head-up leverage and forcing the number 1 receivers to take inside releases. That funnels them inside towards the safeties and prevents the safeties from having to widen and expose the middle of the field. To the bottom of the screen, you can see the corner carry number 1 vertically up to the safety before coming off to take the route in the flats. The outside linebacker to that side is dropping to their hook seam zone but cuts his depth short at 8 yards. That leaves a window for the Bills to wrap a dig route in behind him. However, since the corner helped carry that route, the safety was able to stay under control and break on the route without fear of getting beat over the top. The biggest vulnerability of cover 2 is the middle of the field and down the seam. That matches up linebackers on receivers in the dead zone before the safeties. Teams will wrap players into that area and attempt to attack the deep middle when faced with cover 2. When playing Tampa 2, teams will work option routes underneath fast-dropping middle linebackers like the Dolphins did here. Off the snap, the Mike immediately opens their hips to the passing strength at the bottom of the screen. As he runs to protect the deep middle, Gesicki throttles down his route to attack the vacated space that the Mike just left. The Jets know this is a common adjustment and are trying to drop their defensive end into that area to take away the window, but they don't get enough depth there and Miami gets the completion. Lastly is an example of the Rams rotating into cover 2 man after showing 1 safety. The defenders underneath are in man coverage and the deep safeties fly to help the deep routes outside off of the rotate. The man coverage tightens the window and the safeties are able to stay over the top to force the incompletion from Dak Prescott. Cover 2 may sacrifice having a player in the box to help in the run game, but at its best it forces the ball underneath, gives the opportunity for the defense to disguise coverages, and is a relatively simple coverage for the defense to run. Hey guys, I appreciate you watching all the way through. Make sure you drop a comment. Let me know someone, a scheme, idea, person who you want to see broken down here in the future. I'm also releasing a speaking football course that goes over the basics of the language of football, what techniques are, what alignments are. So if you're interested in that, check out the link in the description.